Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about how to raise two healthy children with unconventional parenting style that was sometimes called healthy neglect, unschooling, and love. So this style allows for a lot of flexibility. We use travel as one of our main means of education, which is a really fun way to do that. And it also allows you to acknowledge different learning styles. My daughter is a real bibliophile, loves words. To this day, still, the exciting thing in this room would have been this right here. Oh, my God, those letters, they're beautiful. My son, on the other hand, not at all interested in letters, words, reading, or any of that. Very much one of those obsessive people that gets into something and that's all he does. So we went through many phases of obsessions in our lives and shaped our education around his obsessions. When he was very little, farming was big in his world. We lived on a farm. We were not farmers, but we lived there. And he collected all of those John Deere little wonderful, wonderful toys. And our living room was covered with that corn, the field corn, little bits of it all over the carpet, and his combine would pick it all up. And it was delightful. And then he moved on to knights and armor and castles. And at that time, Legos actually had little people. When I grew up, they just had the building blocks and maybe a window and a wheel. So we were moving forward in time. From that point, he then got into weapons. And really good fun stuff, Pocket knives became throwing knives, and slingshots, the best of slingshots. Let's go out to Pinchot and play with the slingshots. Great fun, I'm telling you, it was really wonderful. From there, he then got into fishing. Don't ask me why, but fishing, the drop and plunk kind initially, and then fly fishing, and then tying flies. And he even had a fishing museum and store in this lovely little shack by the road where we lived, and he made money. That particular year, our journey, our educational trip was Seattle 95. So we had a big old green Ford van, one of those big ones, The back had a double bed in it, and then a bench seat and two front seats. Car seats, seat belts, who cares? Laid down in the back and listen to your, you all had your little, what were those called? Yes, yes, we had Walkmans. We each had our own, so we could listen to what we wanted. Anyway, because this was the fishing year, our trip, we didn't have a GPS, we had an atlas. And we took that atlas and we planned our trip and we said, where are the bodies of water? All the way. So every stop that we had, whether it was for gas or food or bathroom or overnight, had to have a body of water near it. Day 2, we had already swum in Lake Erie. There was another lake in Wisconsin that I can't remember the name of. We had been to Chicago, spent the night there. The next day we were at another lake. Dinner time, we rolled around. Here's the Mississippi River. Okay, that's pretty cool. Right there where Minnesota cuts down, that little point, Mississippi River, right there. 6 o'clock, dinner time, we pull over one of those big cement tables there. We pull out the old camp stove out of the back of the van, cook up some dinner, and he's like, I gotta fish. Well, I just eat some food, okay? He eats, runs down, healthy neglect comes in here, go down and fish in the Mississippi River, okay? He's down there, we hear this, I got one. So I said, well, I should probably go down and catch a picture of this great fish. So I go down with my Minolta, no digital cameras back then, wander down. He had caught one, threw it back in, had caught another, threw that back in. By this point, he's on, this is the third one, Mom. And he's pulling on it. I'm down there with the camera. And the fish gets off, and the hook comes up and lands in his eye. In his eye. This is true. And this is not your normal little hook. This is one of those 3-prong fishing hooks, all 3, big thing hanging on his cute little face. And I'm like, oh shit. So I take my camera off, set it down. I get a picture of the rocks around the Mississippi accidentally. That's the only record we have of this wonderful event. And we do have that in a photo album because you used to keep photo albums too, So we have this lovely photo album. There it is. So what do you do? Your kid's got a fishing hook in his eye. So I went down, and I grabbed his head, and I held onto his hood, and I yanked that thing out. And of course, I'm thinking, oh, everybody says you should cut the barb off. Never pull it through. Cut the barb off. I thought, why don't we even cut the barb off? And I'm not going to cut the barb out of this guy's eye. So I pulled it out. And his eye's still in. He can see really well. He's the only one that doesn't have glasses. And we said, cry a lot. Your tears will really help, they'll clean it out. And he cried really hard, and he cried a lot, and we didn't take him to a doctor, because, we had to get to the next place, and he seemed okay. So, he went to bed in the back of the van with no seatbelt, and we traveled on down the road. And to this day, he's doing really well. Thank you.